Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Fear Farm in Phoenix, Arizona, getting set to go for round number 7 of Season 2, Nitro 8-scale buggy racing here on VRC-Pro. Your top 10 drivers after qualifying getting set to go here for the 20-minute A final. Tone sounds, we are off and underway. A lot of racing left to go for these drivers, a lot of fast drivers here in this one. Let them get a lap in here. We'll see where they sort themselves out to be. Javon Candy, starting in that number 1 spot. Javon Candy going to be out front, leading the way right now. Javon Candy in that Kyosho car, all red. Up and over the big step-up section they go. Marku honking in that number 2 spot. Everybody right there together. Javon Candy already stretching out a lead here in this one. Through that tricky rhythm section here at the Fear Farm. Into the center section. Coming around now for lap number 1 of many ahead. Crossing the line now. Javon Candy going to be out front. There's Kirby Backmeyer. Backmeyer sitting at the number 5 spot right there. Now you look at Javon Candy's lead already. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th all going to be right there together here in these first laps. Working their way back around. Dan Marson. Marson working his way up in there as well. Battling with Kirby Backmeyer. Marson in that purple and white. There's Jarno Hollonen. Oh, and a mistake there for Jarno. Right here comes up just a little short on that triple. Puts him on his lid. Has to get a turn marshal on that one. Loses some time. Klaus Didrikson sitting in the number 8 spot right now. The green and white TLR buggy down the backstretch he goes. Marku Honkanen dropping back to the number 5 spot now in that hot pink buggy. Oh, trouble's there. I believe that might have been Backmeyer. Things starting to sort themselves out just a little bit now. Javon Candy out front in that all-red Kyosho car. Up and over the triple section he goes right now. Javon Candy looking smooth. Started in the number 3 spot. Jumped out front early on, and now look at that. He's got a short straightaway length lead over 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Javon Candy out to this early lead. Looking for a promising race here from them, the Fear Farm in Phoenix, Arizona. Through the step-on, step-off section he goes. A lot of racing left to go for these drivers. There's Kirby Backmeyer in the number 5 spot. That all-blue buggy, red wing. Had some trouble that earlier lap trying to gain back up on the field. Started the number 7 spot, sitting in the... Oh! Air wheelie right there. Faced up into that jump there. Popped him up into a wheelie. Could have ended in trouble. Javon Candy back to the front now. Going double, single through that line. A lot of different lines drivers we saw in qualifying. Some drivers going way out wide before that. Going triple-double or triple-triple even. Marku honking in that number 3 spot. Chasing down our 2nd place driver right now. Sliding across the loop into the step-on, step-off section. Honking in that hot pink buggy. Dan Marson. Marson in that number 2 spot right now. Marson looking nice and smooth. The UK driver. There's Marku Honkanen back in the number 3 spot, chasing down Marson. Honking in the Finland. Oh, and trouble there for Javon Candy. Javon Candy having trouble in that tricky rhythm section we just talked about. Looks so smooth in previous laps. Javon Candy still out front, but lost some time there. Javon out of the UK as well. There's Marku Honkanen. Honkanen now up into the number 2 spot. The Finnish driver. Driving that all pink buggy. You've got Dan Marson in the number 3 spot. Honkanen working his way back around the track. There you can see he's about a straightaway length back from Javon Candy, but still a lot of racing left to go here from this one. Up and over the triple section he goes. We'll see what he's got in the rhythm section. Takes that tight inside, going double, single. That seems to be the most consistent line. Maybe not always the fastest, but definitely most consistent. Honkanen down the backstretch now, coming around on that lap. Through the step-on, step-off section, down the front stretch now through those big doubles. Onto that left-hand side, and that face of that step-up on the left-hand side is so steep. A lot of these drivers actually bottoming out on the face of it and throwing the car either almost into an air wheelie or up and over the handlebars they go. Marku Honkanen trying to close that gap up on Javon Candy. You can see they're pretty even right now. Javon Candy headed down the backstretch in the all-red Kyosho car. Honkanen looking smooth right now. Starting that number 4 spot. Klaus Didrikson all the way up into 3rd now. Didrikson starting in the number 10 spot. Up into that 3rd place spot. 2 drivers were missing from this race right now. Rob Gillespie out of America, and of course, the ever-so-famous Martin Walenka out of Austria. Not able to start this race. So those 2 drivers off the grid here in this one. Oh, and trouble for Didrikson. Comes up a little short on the step-up jump. He's got company coming up behind him now. All sorts of trouble in through the rhythm section. They go 4 wide. Javon Candy back out of the lead now. Through the step on, step off section. 5 minutes down here in this one. Still a lot of racing left to go for these drivers. Javon Candy looking smooth out front. He jumped into that lead spot on lap number 1, and he's trying not to look back right now. There you see Marku Honkanen in the number 2 spot. Honkanen not letting him get too far out of his sights. Kirby Backmeyer, Dan Marson now battling out for that number 3 and 4 spot. Marson to the inside, moves up to the 3rd place spot now, up and over the triple section they go. And Backmeyer's got the inside on him, the blue buggy. Through the rhythm section, double, single, both drivers nice and smooth. Didrikson going to be right there behind him in the number 5 spot now. Down the, oh, and trouble there for Dan Marson. Gets a little bit wide, trying to set up for a pass on Backmeyer. Clips that outside pipe and tumbles over. That's going to cost him now. Frederick Bowden up into the number 5 spot. Bowden in that red and white buggy chasing down Didrikson and makes the pass on Didrikson now. Didrikson back alongside of him. Middle open over the step up they go. Into the triple section. Didrikson in the TLR buggy. Bowden in the Kyosho car chasing down Backmeyer. Frederick Bowden out of Sweden. On to the back straightaway they go now. Looking at the battle there for 4th and 5th. Kirby Backmeyer up into the number 3 spot now. Javon Candy with a 5-second lead on Marku Honkanen. There you see Javon Candy right there trying to stretch it out on the field. I tell you what, early on here in this one, this looks to be all Javon Candy's race to lose. Oh, and just I say that, out of the corner of our screen, I believe he had a mistake there in the rhythm section. Jumped off and got caught in the hay bale just about. Mark Honkanen doing just about the exact same thing right there. That may spice things up just a little bit here as they work their way back around. Marku Honkanen going to be 4.4 seconds back from Javon Candy now. Candy onto the left-hand side of the track over that step up nice and smooth. Up and over the tabletop jump he goes. Into the step up section. Javon Candy right now, a near flawless race out front leading this one. Wasn't quite the fastest in qualifying, but clearly he looks to be one of the fastest here in the A main final. Marku Honkanen there in the number 2 spot. Kirby Backmeyer putting in a great run here in this one, sitting in the number 3 spot. Chasing down Honkanen right now. Honkanen trying to close that gap up on Javon Candy. And there you see Javon on the left-hand side of the track. So Honkanen trying to close that gap up on him. They were 5 seconds apart. Looks to me like he's closed that gap considerably. Up and over the step up he goes now. Up and over the triple section. Frederick Bowden in the number 4 spot. Up and over the step up he goes. As they're working their way back around now, Frederick Bowden in the red, white, and yellow Kyosho. Oh, good save right there for him in the rhythm section. Up and over that roller section, down the backstretch he goes now. Marku Honkanen going to be 3.5 seconds back from Javon Candy, so closing the gap up on your leader here in this one. 8:15 down. Pit stops starting to take place now. There you see Dan Marson in and out for fuel. I believe that was Didrikson right in front of him. This should shake things up just a little bit right now. Dan Marson in the purple and yellow machine working his way around. Was sitting in 5th before the... Oh, and trouble for Marson. Oh, and one of the worst things to have happen right there, get caught on that outside pipe. That actually takes longer than having a turn marshal. As you can see, lands on the pipe, trying to run down it, hop back over, but he's just stuck with nowhere to go right there. Luckily, he was able to hop back over here at the end, jumping back onto the track. Tough luck there for Dan Marson. There's your leader, Javon Candy. Back out front, Marku Honkanen. Honkanen taking over the lead on the last lap, but I believe Honkanen's still going to make a pit stop here in this one. Pit strategy playing a big part here in Nightskill Nitro buggy racing. Honkanen down the backstretch now. Honkanen coming through the step on, step off section. We'll see if he makes a stop on this one. No, he keeps on going. Javon Candy in that number 2 spot now. So Javon Candy with a huge lead heading into the pit stops. Coming out of it all right now. Looks like Marku Honkanen coming out on the better end of the deal. Honkanen out front leading the way right now. There you see your leader through the rhythm section. through that ski jump up and over the roller. That's an off-camber section right there, and you can see that kicker on the inside. Those drivers trying to sweep wide, miss that kicker. Up and over the step-on, step-off section now. We'll see if Hunt, and there goes Marku Honkanen into the pits now. Javon Candy going to take his lead back. As you can see, Marku Honkanen anxiously trying to get in and out of the pits. Looks like he's going to hold on to that second place spot. Kirby Backmeyer right there in third. So Javon Candy back to the front here in this one. And there you see him up and over the triple section. Javon Candy spread out his lead early on in this one. And it looks like it may pay off. However, looking at the pit times, Marku Honkanen made a pit stop at the 10-minute mark. So that may be Marku Honkanen's only pit stop. Javon Candy's going to have to make another stop here in this one, which may cost him the win later on in this. It's going to spice things up, that's for sure. Kirby Backmeyer now trying to close that gap up on Marku Honkanen. Through the double-double section they go. Backmeyer airing it out right there. Trying to jump to the inside on Honkanen. Up and over the tabletop section into the step up now. Battle for second and third. Look at Kirby Backmeyer. Backmeyer right now just wide open. Up and over the step up. He goes flatland in that one. Into the rhythm section now. Backmeyer. Oh, in trouble for Backmeyer. He goes double-double right here. Gets a little sideways. Clips that second one. Lands back on his wheels, but still costs him time as he chases down our second place driver, Honkanen. Frederick Bowden now in that number 4 spot, the red, white, and black Kyosho machine. Down the front stretch he goes. Frederick Bowden trying to close the gap up on Kirby Backmeyer. Going to be about 2 seconds back. Less than 2 seconds now after all those mistakes from Backmeyer in that last lap. Backmeyer coming around up and over the tabletop into the step-up section. Backmeyer, and there you see the difference between them. Bowden just barely downside in that step-up. Kirby Backmeyer airing it out flatland and all the way onto the flat ground. Through the rhythm section they go once again. And back around to the backside. Past the halfway mark in this one. Onto the right-hand side of the track, the step-on, step-off section. Tell you what, Frederick Bowden, nice and smooth downside and everything. Looking pretty smooth. Oh, and just I say that comes up a little bit short on the step-up. But Bowden looking smooth here in this one. Started the number 5 spot. Has moved up to the 4 spot. Whoa! Frederick Bowden, a huge double backflip McTwisty over the step-up. Check this out. What luck right there, landing back on his wheels. That deserves some extra bonus points or something for that one. Definitely some freestyle moves right there in the middle of this one. Frederick Bowden, the Travis Pastrana of VRC-Pro, ripping out a double backflip over the step-up. And battle for the lead now. Javon Candy. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not a battle for the lead. That's lap traffic. Javon Candy working his way by lap traffic. Marku Honkanen in that number 2 spot. Honkanen is 7.3 seconds back from Javon Candy. So Javon right now, comes up short on the step-on, step-off section. Javon Candy looking nice and smooth and looking for a big win here at the Fear Farm. Still a lot of racing left to go, though. 7 minutes left to go for these drivers. Candy out front right now. Reigning from the United Kingdom. Marku Honkanen in that number 2 spot out of Finland. Up and over the step-up he goes. Into the triple section now. Kirby Backmeyer sitting in the number 3 spot, the American driver. On his home turf here at the Fear Farm. Honkanen working his way through the ski jump section onto the back straight now. Your running order right now going to be Candy, Honkanen, Backmeyer, Bowden, Larson, Hallinan, Waffle, and Didrikson. Once again, Rob Gillespie and Martin Wilanka not making the start here on this one, unfortunately. Jarno Hallinan sitting in the number 6 spot. Started 6th, he's sitting 6th. A lot of racing left to go here in this one. All these drivers trying to keep smooth and consistent laps going. Hallinan looking pretty comfortable right now in the number 6 spot, chasing down Dan Marson. He is 13 seconds back from Dan Marson, though. He's got Francis Wafflet chasing him down in the number 7 spot. Plus Didrikson in the number 8 spot right now. Your leader out front, Javon Candy, with a 5.4 second lead on Marku Honkanen. So Honkanen has closed the gap up a little bit, but still, and trouble there for Javon Candy. Remember, Honkanen making the pit stop at the 10-minute mark. I got a feeling Marku Honkanen pitting once at 10 minutes, and that's going to be it for the race. But Javon Candy, he's got another pit stop coming. As Javon's working his way around right now, coming down the front stretch. Only 5 minutes left to go in this race. He's going to have to stretch out his lead. He's got 4.7 seconds on Markku Honkanen. I tell you what, it's going to be close. If Javon Candy runs perfect laps and makes a fast pit stop, it's still going to have these two drivers right there together finishing this one out. Honkanen up and over the triple jump he goes there. Just trying to stay nice and smooth, hoping his 10-minute pit strategy pays off. Going double, single, nice and smooth there. Javon Candy right now cannot afford a single mistake for the remainder of this race. Honkanen onto the right-hand side of the track through the step-on, step-off section. Coming back around to the front side now, up and over the roller. On to the left side of the track he goes. There you see Javon Candy. Javon Candy with a 5.4-second lead. Definitely stretching it out right now on our second-place driver. Working his way up on some lap traffic. We'll see how that sorts out. Into the rhythm section once again, going double, single, nice and smooth for Javon Candy. He looks nearly unstoppable here in this one, but once again, that pit stop could shake things up. 16 minutes down here in this one, 4 minutes left to go. Javon Candy down the front stretch, he goes on to the left-hand side of the track. Javon Candy with a 5.6-second lead that last time around. Up and over the step up he goes, working his way to the inside of lap traffic. Running right there with him. Javon to the inside. And we'll see if Javon Candy's got to make a pit stop here on this one. 16:30 down. This race winding down right now at 5.6-second lead. Oh! Trouble for Javon Candy! He's caught on the pipe. Corner marshal has to help him out there on the step-on, step-off. That is not a good sign for Javon Candy right now, as he's got to make another pit stop, and that's going to cost him. Look how close they are now. Markku Honkanen closing the gap up on him after that big mistake for Javon Candy. A near flawless run heading into that point. Javon Candy getting caught up in the hay bales, having trouble getting corner marshaled. And there you see they are short straightaway length apart now. At this point, Javon Candy, if he has any shot at winning this race, he's going to have a lot of luck on his side, or he's going to have to try and push it. And he's in for fuel. That's going to do it right there. Oh, boy. Javon Candy in and on the wall. Markku Honkanen now up into the lead. His 10-minute pit stops have paid off so far. 17:30 down. This one is winding down now. Markku Honkanen now your leader. Patiently waiting this entire race with 17 minutes down. He has taken the lead. Javon Candy charging hard. You can see right now the aggression in his driving. Frustrated, but trying to keep it smooth. Trying to push hard to catch back up to Markku Honkanen. As they come across the line now, they are going to be 2.6 seconds apart. So Markku Honkanen with a decent lead right now, but Javon Candy laying down some very fast laps. On the left-hand side of the track they go. There's Markku Honkanen coming up into the step-up section now. Honkanen right now has got to keep it smooth. Oh, got a little sideways coming off the triple section into the rhythm. 18:20 down. 1:40 to go here in this one. And there you see our third-place driver, Kirby Backmeyer. The American driver in the blue and red buggy, working his way through the rhythm section. Sitting strong right now in third. He's a lap behind our first place driver. Oh, not quite a lap. Oh, in trouble there for Kirby Backmeyer. Coming up short. Gets a little close to that inside pipe, bumps it a bit, loses his speed, and comes up short on the step-on part. Backmeyer's still sitting in third right now, though. Frederick Bowden in the number 4 spot. Dan Marson in the 5, Howland and Wafflet and Didrikson. Honkanen and Candy, 1 and 2 right now. 2.5 seconds separate them right now. There's Frederick Bowden, our 4th place driver, chasing down Kirby Backmeyer. That battle right now. 3rd and 4th working their way through the rhythm section. With less than a minute to go now. The story, though, up front, Markku Honkanen leading the way. Javon Candy in the number 2 spot. There you see Javon Candy. Up and over the step-up section he goes in the Kyosho car. Up and over the triple now. They are less than a straightaway length apart. Javon Candy has led this entire race up into the 17-minute mark, where he caught up in the hay bales on the step-on, step-off section. Lost the lead after a pit stop. Down the backstretch, take a look at Javon Candy. Javon Candy with 20 seconds left to go has closed the gap less than a straightaway. Candy pushing hard. Coming down the front stretch now. They're 2 car lengths apart. Up and over the double section they go. Marku honking in the hot pink. Javon Candy in the red car, working their way through lap traffic. Going to be right there together. This is going to be their final lap when they cross the line. Javon Candy back up into the lead now. Javon Candy, your leader. Marku honking looking for the inside line into the triple section. Javon Candy taking over the top spot. Marku honking dropping back to second once again. Oh, Javon Candy rolls it over the rhythm section. Marku honking back up into the front now. One final time. Marku Honkanen taking the win. Javon Candy second. What a race right there between those 2 drivers. Here comes that battle for third and fourth. Kirby Bachmeyer coming around nice and smooth. Bachmeyer rounds out your top 3. What a race right here from the Fear Farm. There you see your top 2 drivers battling out on the final lap. The pink and red car. Marku Honkanen out front, and then all of a sudden right there, Javon Candy moving up ahead of Honkanen. Up and over the step they go. Honkanen jumps back to the inside, comes up a little bit short there. And it looked like Javon Candy had the win here in this one, but made another mistake in this upcoming rhythm section. Watch right here as Javon Candy makes the corner, heads into the rhythm section. He's already got a half a straightaway length lead, and boom, that's it right there. Cost him the win. Congratulations to Marku Honkanen out of Finland. A well-deserved win here in this one. Javon Candy second, Kirby Bachmeyer third, Frederick Bowden, Dan Marson, Jarno Hallinan, Klaus Didrikson, and Francis Wafflet.